The science of longevity, the old and new biomarkers of aging, will be taken by Dr. Samantha Tulla. Ladies and gentlemen, over to you, ma'am.
I see that people are walking towards other talks. Wonderful. I think the same topic is going on in the other hall as well. So, till the present slides are all on, let's do some exercise. I think this is taught by Dr. Daryl to keep the session going and motivated. So, let's begin from this row. How long do you think you want to live? How long do you think you want to live? Not have given a thought? Or what does it mean to you by living longer? Is it simple enough? Very important. Quality is very important. So can we tell by looking at a person on a chair how healthy he or she is? Can we tell a person is healthy by just looking at them? As Mr. Darshit has mentioned in his previous presentation, we can assume a person to be of a certain age by our primitive AI, right? But that is not enough. As doctors for us, we should give much more than that when they're walking into the clinic. So for that, assumption is not just enough. We need to start talking to them. Looking is not just enough. We need to start talking. That is where questionnaire comes into play. I think Dr. Daryl has given you questionnaire. Now, is the questionnaire just enough? We have got some clues from the questionnaire. Now, we have assumed 80% of among us are having hypothyroidism. That is not enough. We need to test. So now comes the testing. Testing to what extent? There are basic tests, there are advanced tests, there are more advanced tests. You can run people through machines, you can do functional MRIs. Where do we stop? So that is where we are learning today. What are the basic biomarkers? Where do we start off with? Even before we can get to, spending millions of dollars every month. As Darshit was mentioning, have you all heard of Brian Johnson? Who spends crores on himself to keep himself health optimized, not just health optimized. He is also working on reversing his age. Okay, let's not go up to that extent. First, we want to live well today, keep functioning better, then move to the best. So, slides are still not on. We'll still keep talking. So, even before we get to blood test, a gentleman asked me yesterday, is there a simple way to test a person and tell how his functionality is? Yes, we have tests. 1, strength, we have to assess the strength. 2, aerobic endurance. 3, balance. 4, mobility. If a 60-year-old person is walking into my clinic, I wouldn't just ask them to go run on a treadmill test. That is not where you should start from. Take a chair. I'll ask him or her to get up and sit down as many times as possible within 30 seconds. What do you think how many he or she should be doing to assume his aging well? You're between 8 and 15. 12 is the minimum number. Okay, suppose a person has already finished 12. I think it's enough. Is he healthy? Can he do more? So at home, the person can practice doing more and more. Within 30 seconds time, he should be progressing day by day. Not 12, 15. 15 is already reached, 18. So that is how we train ourselves every day. So this is tug. This test is called tug. Timed, up and go. So now, that was chair test. Now, time up and go. Patient is sitting. He has to stand without the support of the chair, get up, walk to a distance, turn back without support or without a tool, come back, sit down in the chair unassisted. The distance is 10 feet. How soon do you think we should go and come back and sit down in the chair? 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. You're nearly there. It's 8 seconds. Suppose a person is not able to come back and sit down in 8 seconds. That means he has some balance disabilities. Maybe he had to take some time because you asked him to get up without assistance. So, this is a test of balance. What could be a test of flexibility? There are many ways we can test a flexibility. One such test which we do at clinic is person has to sit down on the floor with legs extended and try to bend and touch his feet, his or her feet. That is one of the many tests of flexibility. So we covered balance, flexibility, strength. In strength, there is another thing which we do at the clinic. We keep dumbbells of 0.5 kg only, smaller ones, or for some healthy people, 1 kg, and ask them to do curl-ups within 30 seconds. How many do you think a person should be able to do? A number again. 15? Oh, ma'am has come prepared. Yes. Yes, 15 is the number. If you're not able to do 15, only 10, do it every day. Increase one every 1 or every 2 days. You should be able to do 15. You're already doing 15. Aim for higher. These are the simple tests we can do within a span of 30 seconds to assess different areas. Strength, mobility, flexibility. And when it comes to aerobic endurance, I told we can't put them on treadmill and make them run. Do you think, is there a simple test to check if a person has good endurance? That means his cardiovascular fitness is good. This has been done in COVID. It's, yes, 6-minute walk test. How far can you walk in that 6 minutes? Oh, this is on. But this is one of the things anyhow. I've been used to talking without slides. Yesterday, my presentation was not up. So, yes, we should be walking at least 500 meters within 6 minutes' time. If they're not able to cover, but they should be walking comfortably. If they're running, they can come back, cover the distance. They should be walking comfortably without breathlessness, at least 500 meters in 6 minutes' time. These are the basic areas of assessments. These are also kind of biomarkers, but these are the biomarkers where we check functional abilities. But that is for 50-year-old, 60-year-old who are not able to achieve much. But for people like high achievers and high performance, these are not enough. These tests are not enough. That is where we go forward. So why new biomarkers of aging? Why were old ones not enough? What were the old ones? The blood biomarkers that we all have been doing since ages. Liver function tests, kidney function tests, HbA1c, fasting, uric acid. We have all been doing. But what's new? What else can we do? There's so many things that are coming up. So people started adding genomics, epigenomics, microbiomics, metabolomics, and aging clocks. Do we have to do all of these? That answer I'll give you when we reach the last slide. So I definitely do 60% of them. These are the blood biomarkers that we shouldn't miss. There are others as well, but these are we shouldn't miss. Inflammatory markers, very, very, very important. CRP is one such thing, interleukin-6 as well. Oxidation stress, very important. There are various ways we can assess oxidation stress. Just by looking at a person, if a person has high oxidation stress, he would look much older than he has to be. He would look inflamed, weight gain, or it can show up in his face. Many of them have showcased on faces by various pictures like Darshit was showing in the morning, how one can have more graying of hair and wrinkles on the skin. But there are many more non-invasive tests like oligoscan, the one which is offered by Metabalance outside. If you have not gone through, you can run that test, very non-invasive. I have done that for the first time in my life yesterday, and it's quite insightful. And diabetic risk. Should we wait for our HbA1c to fall beyond 6.4, which is the diagnostic value for diabetes? Do you all think so? We shouldn't wait. What else can we do? Fasting glucose is just not enough. We should be doing something called fasting insulin levels, which is not added here. Fasting insulin levels go higher and higher as you develop more and more resistance. That is, the cells are not sensing the insulin, so it will only give the feedback that your insulin is not enough. Pancreas, please send more insulin. More and more insulin is coming. That is when, in the initial days, you have more fasting insulin, but after a point of time, the pancreas is exhausted. That is when it is not able to maintain blood sugars anymore, and they fall off, and that is when you start noticing high glucose levels. So next, cardiovascular. Don't miss your ApoB. Now it's available. It is done in many of the places. It is a very good risk marker to assess if your lipid synthesis or your lipid balance is going off. And hormones, they is apolipoprotein capital B. Basically, other lipoproteins like HDL, LDL, they are carriers of the cholesterol. LDL is carrying it from the liver, and when it is becoming dysregulated, it is forming plaques and building up the cholesterol within the arteries. HDL is carrying that cholesterol back from the vessels, clearing it off, and feeding back to the liver. But apolipoprotein B is the one which is like, it is not just a carrier alone. It is a marker of the cholesterol. So I think this is more wonderful because people who had normal total cholesterol, normal total HDL, and just had high LDL, which is a scenario in India. We have high LDLs, total cholesterol normal, total HDL normal. We start to notice that people start putting them on statins. We shouldn't do that. Because studies are now showing low HDL is more dangerous than high LDL alone. If you have low HDL, that is more risky. And beyond that, now what about apolipoprotein B? If you have higher values of apolipoprotein B, your scale is going off. Now it is a hint that you started dysregulating your vascular endothelium, and endothelium is dysfunctioning, and there's inflammation which is starting off in the vascular system, and then start forming plaques, and then high blood pressure, and then it goes on and on. And then detox system. So there are many different names that are used like detox, but body is built in a way it has to clear up its own shit in many different ways by many different organs, liver, kidney, lymphatics, everything does its own function. But blood urea nitrogen is very critical. Bilirubin, among the liver function tests, we get the whole panel of tests. All of them are very critical, bilirubin and aminotransferases as well. And vitamins and minerals. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, this is very sad that most of the labs just do sodium, potassium. This is so sad. If you're getting the panel, do for metabolite markers. I'll show it in the next slide what it looks like. Physiological markers, I think we discussed most of them. But beyond that, what extra for people who are already looking and feeling healthy? Body composition. Now we have modern DEXA scans beyond just bone mineral density. We can look at visceral fat. We can look at muscle mass. Very, very, very important. And it's time we stop looking at people and assuming they are healthy. We stop thinking increased waist to hip ratio is a normal part of the process and start believing that we should accept it. If your waist is growing, if your waist to hip ratio is going high, please don't think it's normal. You're becoming insulin resistant. You're depositing more and more fat. Maybe it's time you reach out to a functional health specialist or other doctor around. So that is how body composition analysis means: visceral fat, body muscle composition, bone mineral density. That's how body scans, DEXA scans come into play. And heart function, which, again, just ECG would not give us everything. We should understand that. Heart rate variability is very important. Now there are different methods of testing, right? People wear this chest monitors, chest straps. Those are the best ones. But we don't have to buy them. There should be another way. So we have smartwatches, all of us have them. We should start using them and check for our heart rate variability as well. And we have resting heart rate, very important as well. We need to keep a track on it. And then pulmonary function, It's very sad that these pulmonary function tests are available only with the pulmonologist, and the test is done only when a person is already sick. It's time we change that notion. We shouldn't check when everything has already gone wrong. He's definitely going to either get obstructive or restrictive kind of a picture. But what is that one value which can determine that your lung function is good? Forget that is the test. That is not machine-based. If you have to think and test a person, how is your lung capacity, what do you do? Indirect indicator. Breath holding, breath hold test, also called BOLD score. Yesterday, we checked what our BOLD score was. How much do you think is yours? How many seconds can you all hold your breath after an expiration? That's fantastic. For you, if it's for you, it's bad. You should do better. I think you should keep practicing it every day. I think we should all keep practicing the small things every day to improve our lung capacity. How much can we hold? So that is part of breathwork exercises that we all do, part of you. No. How much can we hold after exhaling all the air? After a deep inspiration and exhalation, then you take a deep breath and hold it. Inhale, hold, then start your timer. It just needs more practice. If it is more personalized, if you're 30 today, aim to get it to 40. If you're already doing a 40, aim to get to 50. That is the beauty of longevity today. You need not compare yourself with a peer of your age. It need not be. Any two people of the same age are not aging at the same pace. You need not age at how the other person is. Create your own spectrum. See, minimum is 45 seconds. Minimum is 45. If you are 30, I think you have already failed the test. See, maybe you didn't breathe in properly. Or you're not used to doing it on a regular basis. If you are used to doing it on a regular basis, then I think improve. That is important. See, that is important. Your abdomen should come out. Your diaphragm should go down. That means you're giving more area for the lungs to expand. That is a good one. And thank you for this point. That is very important. Very important. I couldn't do it yesterday properly because I was anxious. I have to talk. I was walking. I was already breathing so much during that time. So to move on, grip strength. How many of you have dynamometers at home? Please have one. It costs 253 rupees on Amazon. I got one for my father, grandfather, grandmother, mother, everyone. Please give one for each person. Do it with both the hands every day. I'm trying to improve mine. Mine is bad. I figured out my left hand grip is bad. Because during my deadlifts, I was noticing when the weights are increasing, my hand is slipping off. Then my trainer said, we should start improving your muscle strength of your fingers. I told him, there is dynamometer. I'll do on that. He gave me a sponge ball. I said, I can't assess how much is my strength. Dynamometer has a meter, so it will give you an exact number. So I think it helped me, and it will help many of you as well. Cognitive function. Is there any which way we can test how their memory is, how their cognitive behavior is? There is something called mini mental status examination, named as MMSC. It's a simple questionnaire which is available online now on most of the sites. We can all download. I can share one after my presentation. It's a simple questionnaire. We can answer it, and they have data, and they have created points as to what is your score like. So we can always start the test, improve our score as we go forward. So these are the different areas of health that we need to be checking. So if you have seen, we have gone through lungs, kidneys, liver, muscles, bone. Do you think we are covering many aspects? So these are all physiological markers. Next, genomics. Many gentlemen before me have spoken about decoding DNA, how to use DNA to hack your sleep, and many such things. I will tell you what I do for my clients and how it has helped. That would be a more practical scenario, right? What should I do in genetics? It only has 10 to 15% importance. Should I do it or not? See, if you have money, do it. If you don't force yourself. Somebody is sponsoring, do it. Do you get any insights? Yes. If you do not do the test, is it that you're losing something? No. You're getting any insight? Yes. So today we are standing there. But let me give you 2 to 3 very good examples. A gentleman, middle-aged person walked into my clinic. He said, I'm 40, my friend died recently. Sudden arrest. He was in the gym. Do all the tests that are available with you. Tell me, I'm so scared. I run every panel, need of the hour. He said, he'll be more relaxed if I do everything. I did nutrigenomics and fitness genomics and disease risk assessment. And he had acyl-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency. Forget about the name. That means he can't do high-intensity interval training exercises. Today, longevity shows a lot of data that HIIT is very, very good. It is true, but it should be personalized. We can't stand up today and start doing HIIT because we have learned that HIIT is very good. HIIT is good. It will improve your cardiovascular fitness. It will improve your VO2 max. But anything which is new to your body, don't push it too hard. That is what I'm trying to say. We do not know what enzymes we are deficient in and how our body is going to react. So whatever we are building in terms of nutrition, in terms of your exercise, do it slow, steady, always additional. I think that is the key here. So I think nutrigenomics, fitness genomics are giving very insightful data. And of course, disease prediction, history of cancers in the family, they want to know their risk for the diseases? Yes. Epigenetics, it has been talked about. How is epigenetics different from genetics? That is what people started asking. In genetics, yes, disease, we are finding out we are at risk for few diseases. We would be more careful. There's a risk of cancer. We would be screening more often. But epigenetics is something that your environment is doing with your genes. We are breathing in air, taking in water, eating the food, traveling. We are consuming all kinds of toxins and chemical disruptors and everything. How is it affecting your outcome? Is it creating changes on your DNA that it's showing up in your health? That is what it is. I don't do much in my clients, let me tell you. They're very enthusiastic clients. They want to do because they want to know their baseline biological age. It's good. They want to know. Let them know, because for some, it is a motivation. He's 40, his biological age came out 45. He would be more motivated. No, I want to reverse it. I don't want to feel more older than I am. So that is where this test in today's scenario in India is at right now. Microbiomics also has been very detailedly talked. This is one of the slides which I have added how I want to show you how it's affecting my client's health. So these are all the kinds of the information that we get when we get our gut microbiome tested, because it's not just about what we are eating, what we are feeding our gut microbes is very important, and what it is making out of what you're eating are the metabolites, and what these metabolites are doing to your body. So that is how these values turn out to be. Are they resistant to any antibiotics? Are they having this good products released in the gut, SCFA, which can maintain your vascular health? Are the vitamins absorbed properly in your gut? Neurotransmitters, we know 60% of the serotonin is made in the gut. Is it made properly? Is it average, good, ideal, non-ideal? Do you have any risk for disease development? This is a 30-page report. I just took out what is essential. So this is how it can look like. For those of you who are more interested, let me tell you, there should be a good balance of basic microbiota in the gut, bacteroids and firmicutes. Here we noticed in this particular client, which is not necessary, firmicutes was higher. So we had to reprogram and give a gut reset program. You have been hearing a lot, and you will be hearing a lot going forward on mitochondria dysfunction. So mitochondria, little powerhouse of the cell, is determining how healthy you will be. And that is affected by most of the biomarkers and most of the hallmarks of aging as well. So keeping your mitochondria healthy is important. We are moving from genetics, epigenetics, microbiomics, and then metabolic profile. In metabolic profile, what do we have to see? What are these metabolites? So basically, we're eating food. It has carbs, fats, protein. Are they utilized in the body? There are certain actions that are going on, certain enzymes that are utilized, certain cofactors that are utilized. Then the food is broken down, carbs are broken down. There are certain byproducts that you see both in the blood and urine. Depending on these byproducts that we are checking in the blood and urine, we can estimate today as to how they are oxidized. Is your glucose oxidized well? Is your fat oxidized well? Are you missing something? Is there a deficiency of L-carnitine? Then there will be a problem with your fatty acid oxidation. For me, for example, I'm deficient in chromium. I have to supplement it every time. Yesterday I tested again, my chromium is low. So I always add my chromium because I want to oxidize my glucose well. So these are the things that we see in metabolomics or metabolites. This is a very perfect test I have found very useful in my client, and they have turned their health around by this simple test, not very expensive, but it will give a lot of actionable data. When it comes to tests, I believe the test should be useful to a client. Can we give actionable insights to the client with the help of a test? Then do the test. That is how I believe in. That is how clients also do believe in. If it is useful, doctor, please do the test. That is what they are asking for. If the test is useful, can give you more insights, then let's do it. And that's how so many tests have come into play. And there are many more, which have put them into different baskets today for you. If there are any questions, I would like to take. No, I don't crave because I get headaches whenever I take refined foods and sugars. I'm off sugars since 6 years, happy without migraines. Not directly. So what happens is, when do we crave much? When we go into low blood sugars, that is when I used to crave. Now I eat a more balanced, more low glycemic index foods, more balanced, good fiber, whole grain. I eat every 4 hours. I mean, that is minimum gap. It's not that I'm eating all the day. So I don't have hunger pangs. So that is a metabolite test. I think that didn't show up. I'll share with you when the presentation is done. You can check for all the metabolites and see what is it that you're missing, what cofactors are missing. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Please give it up for Samatha.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.